Hello, welcome to week 3 of this week's Coach's Corner. My name is David Collins, the athletic director and head football coach at Greenville High School, and glad to welcome you with us today for more inside looks at what we've got going on with Greenville athletics. Our program is focused on development of kids 3 different ways. We talk about behavioral development first, we talk about athletic performance development second, and then we talk about job skill development third. Now, when it comes to behavioral development, we're talking about the foundational core behaviors that allow kids to achieve the things that they want to achieve in life. When we talk about job skill development, we talk more about the academic skill and the sports skill that they have to learn to do the specific things that they've chosen to do. But when we talk about the second one, and which is a really foundational piece of our development, and we talk about athletic performance development, that leads us to our strength conditioning program. And today, we are sitting down with our head strength and conditioning coach, George Sellers. George, appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. George, this interview, we've done a couple of these now. We're meeting coaches, and really what we want to do, our goal is to get our community to be able to kind of get to know you a little bit differently than what they might see when they come in here, okay? And one of the first questions I ask all is, to be in this coaching world, we have to have an unbelievable support system at home. So tell us a little bit about your family, George, and that journey for you.
Yeah, I got a wonderful wife, Shauna. I got 4 kids. I got 6 grandkids, and they've been there to support me through my whole career. And we enjoy being at Greenville. Been here a long time, and we're excited about the future here.
Awesome. You talked about being here for a while, and obviously that leads us into our next question. Take us through your coaching career, George, from the start of it to where you are today.
I've been doing it for quite a while. I started in Sulphur Springs with my first year coaching. I started coaching baseball. Thought I wanted to be a baseball coach. And as the years progressed, I started coaching more and more football, got into the strength side of it, and ended up here in Greenville. And back home, I'm an '86 graduate of Greenville, and couldn't be more excited than to be back in Greenville and stay in Greenville for all these years. So
awesome. Well, as you said, you've spent a lot of time in football, but now you're transitioning to the strength and conditioning role. Tell us about that transition. How's it been different for you, and what are you excited about with the new role you have?
There's a bunch there. I'm excited about just the opportunity to be with all the sports. Not just the football kids, but I get to spend time with the soccer and the basketball and volleyball and the baseball kids. And we got some great kids here, guys. They work their behinds off in this weight room. They're excited about the stuff that we have, the new stuff that we have, and just to see their faces when they come in here and every single day, Coach. It's been really wonderful.
Awesome. Tell me about the preparation difference. What goes into preparing to be a strength and conditioning coordinator every day?
You spend a lot of time, looking at lifts and researching and reading and seeing what actually works in this business. What we do for football isn't something that we're necessarily going to be doing for baseball or volleyball. We're going to make adjustments for the different lifts and stuff, so to more suit the kids for what they need.
Okay, awesome. So when you're looking at the specific training that each and every group needs, I think that's a awesome. One, it's an awesome responsibility. There's a ton of work that goes into that. And number 2, it's no doubt that that's a huge advantage for our kids. Having a strength and conditioning coordinator, what do you think that does for the kids in our program?
I think number one, with what we got going on right now, and I don't know if they can see the weight room or can see the weight room behind us. With John Franklin stepping up and committing to our kids, the excitement has really generated more and more interest with our kids in the program, and having a specific person that's doing the strength and conditioning makes them feel like their sport's just as important as the next sport, and to me that's very, very important for our kids.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. We're excited to have you running that show for us. George, talk about the behavioral development of our program. It's one of the things we introed today with. The behavioral part of our program is so important when it comes to strength and conditioning, because I truly believe this. I truly believe, the workouts are what we do, but the behaviors drive how we do it, and how you do what you do is so much more important than actually what you're doing on a daily basis. So, foundationally, one of the behaviors we talk about in this program is love is free, trust is earned. First of all, share with the community what that means to you.
Trust is earned. Trust is something that we got to teach our young people, that you got to show up every day, you got to be consistent, and you got to do what you say you're going to do. And the love part, we love everybody here. And we, well, just to be quite honest with you guys, discipline is the core structure of everything that we do, Coach. Mm-hmm. And so in the weight room, we get a lot of structure in here. We get a lot of guidance on ways to do things the correct way so that nobody gets hurt.
That's right.
So that kind of leads over into other programs. I mean, we demand that they stay focused on what they're doing in here, and that leads over to the discipline part of it. There's a lot of discipline that happens in the weight room, the showing up, the working hard, doing the lifts right consistently, following the instructions, staying on time, and from there it goes into the love part. We got great kids here, guys. We love every one of them. The ones that are in athletics, they put in a lot of extra work that most people never, ever see. You never see all the extra hours that they put in. And you can't help but love them for doing all that. And my heart just wants us to be successful as they possibly can in the weight room with their specific sport and in life later on.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about the discipline that it takes every single day. And you said it before, I think the discipline is what drives trust, especially in this room right here, George. While this is probably the most important room for their athletic development, it's also potentially a dangerous room if you don't do things right. And to be able to have the discipline and earn your trust, number one, that they're going to do things right so you can let them train, I think is something that I've seen with you that you do such a great job with, is the teaching part is great, but you also redirect the things that you need to make sure safety is priority number one. But I think number two, the trust that you bring here every day that our students get to gain in you because you're prepared every single day, I think is a really important aspect of that. So, we thank you for that. And you talk about the kids putting in an awful lot of time to get that done. I don't think people understand how much time that you're putting in outside of the actual work hours that you are with the kids to make sure that you're trained and ready to go. So we thank you for that. You've been in Greenville a long time, George.
Yes,
so this is my 6th month, I think, here, maybe 6 or 7, I can't remember. They all run together when it gets this time of year for us sometimes. But tell me something. We've shared a lot of stories of Greenville. And that's been one of the things about our relationship that I think has been important to me most, is that you give me insight every day to this community. You've grown up here, you've been here a long time, you help me organize and understand a little bit more about our community every day, which helps me make choices. But there's always something I can learn more, right? So give me something about Greenville that we haven't talked about yet, George, that I need to know.
We've talked about quite a bit.
We have.
But first of all, I'd just like to say, let everybody know, Coach has brought in a lot of things. I've learned a lot from him, weight room-wise, structure. He's brought in a lot of things that are going to help benefit our program in the long run. But I will tell a story about Greenville.
Okay.
I remember being a young buck, and it was during the 10-0 season, and that couldn't go for you guys that know. And I was standing at the fence watching the game. I didn't have money to get in, so I'm watching the game. And to this day, I can still remember seeing the field goal go through the uprights to beat Plano. And I remember kids running around playing. I remember the game. I remember the excitement. And I just remembered how everybody enjoyed the game of football. And that particular night was, it was an amazing night in Greenville for me too, because I think that's when I decided that I was going to coach, getting to watch that and see that live as a young kid. So, and that's one of my fond stories. Now, back here in the back on the wall, there's a picture of Coach King and that group of guys on the wall that we still have here in the weight room. And I get to see that every day. And every now and then I run across some of the players that are in that picture over there. And just means a lot to me because it takes me back to my childhood.
Awesome. I think we've all got those stories that that have kind of shaped where we are now, right? And that's awesome that you shared that. And I can imagine a young George Sellers getting fired up about that field goal and beating a big win like Plano, especially back then, because where Plano was as a program right there, and it was special to beat those guys.
Yes,
so, and I've had a chance to talk to a lot of the 10-0 team and just how much pride they took in it. And I think that's one thing that I hope that we can bring back to our community is, the success. It breeds success, right? I mean, having the courage to go out and do what it takes to be 10-0, man, is unbelievable. So what those guys accomplished, there ain't many teams that have done it. I mean, you look in this business, and I promise you, there's not very many that have gone through undefeated seasons like that, and the hard work that it takes to get that done. And I know a lot of people get to celebrate it, but those guys that actually put the time in to get it done, and I think you've seen that in this business, right?
Yeah.
It's a special moment, man, George, and I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay. And on the lighter side, George, I've eaten a bunch of places, and I know you like to eat around here because it's all a lot of good food, man. But take me to a place that I need to try that maybe I haven't.
Ooh, I don't know, Coach. I kind of go back to Ernie's every time somebody asks me. So that's one of my favorite places in Greenville to eat. So shout out to Ernie's Barbecue.
All right, well, Ernie's definitely we've seen that one because I'm not gonna miss that one right there. So it's a great place. But well, George, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for all the work that you put in. Thank you for being a guy that's really helped me transition here, and you've really given me a vision of what Greenville, Texas needs and what Greenville, Texas is, and hopefully what I'm doing with that information you're proud of, because it means a lot to me that you've done that for us. So great to meet you, man. Thank you, George. I'm glad. Have a great day, and then we'll be right back with our next segment.
Ever wondered why your GEUS bill seems to fluctuate unpredictably?
Why are these bills so high? Are they really reading these meters, or are we just guessing?
Well, here's the deal. Texas weather swings like a pendulum, impacting your energy costs. That thermostat works overtime, but tweaking it just 4 degrees can make a real dent in your bill. And going further by 4 degrees when you're out, even more savings. GEUS reads those meters every month. Your trust matters. GEUS, your community-owned utility provider.
Welcome back to segment 2 of week 3 of our Coach's Corner. And today we go back into our football program, and we're talking to 2 of our seniors about their experience here in Greenville, Texas, their background, their support systems, and just what it means to be a Greenville Lion to them. We're going to start today with one of our seniors, Jaden Johnson. All right, Jaden's a running back / linebacker for us, okay? And we're really excited to have you, buddy. Welcome to the program today.
Thank you, Coach.
You got it, man. We want to start every one of this by talking about your support system. Obviously to get where you are today, as hard a worker, as hard a worker as you are, and for everything that you are for us every day, that means you've had a great deal of support in your growth growing up. You've had a great deal of accountability, a great deal of behavioral training from your parents. So talk to us about your support system. Talk to us about your parents, your siblings, and how they've helped you get where you are today.
So my mom, I've been with her, just her and my brothers in our house since I was 7. So she's been a big role in motivating me to be a role model for my brothers, for people around me. My youngest brother, his name is Jace, he's 7th grade. He also plays running back and linebacker. He looks up to me a lot, so I'm just trying to be a good role model for him, trying to be a good role model for the other people around me, and just a better person overall.
Okay, awesome, man. Well, I know she does a ton of work for us in our program, and you can see her work ethic, and obviously that shows up in the way that you work every day. So big shout out to her. And obviously I know your dad is also a part of some of our programs, our Lions Dads and other things. Talk to me about your relationship with your dad and what he's meant to you over the years.
So my dad has also motivated me. He's been telling me to go through every play 100 miles an hour. Even if I mess up, just keep on going. Forget about the past, worry about the future.
Awesome, awesome. Go have that 1-0 mentality we talk about all
Yes,
the time,
sir.
right? Be a competitor. Awesome, awesome, man. Well, let's shift our focus into the actual game of football now. I mean, you're a varsity contributor on both sides of the ball for us, right? You're a guy that we look to heavily. Had a big touchdown for us the other night against Joshua. But really, you're the guy that we look to when we just need a guy that knows what's going on, that's confident in what he's doing, and can go out there and breed confidence in others, okay? So talk about your football journey. How have you developed into being that kind of guy?
So freshman year, I struggled a lot, but especially whenever I messed up plays. I would always keep that in my head. But then the coaches, a lot of it was Coach Sellers. He helped me get better throughout that. My mom's helped me get better with it too. And now I can just play more confident.
Awesome, awesome. You know, and I think confidence it's a funny thing, right? You know, what we can't do is give you confidence. What we can do is teach you how to become a guy that can overcome those little bitty things that slow you down, right? And I think that's an important piece. And mentioning Coach Sellers right there, mentioning your mom and how they've instilled those mindsets in you, man. Just it's powerful stuff. And I love hearing about people inspiring others to have confidence, but more importantly, inspiring others to be great. That's awesome that you mentioned those two, and I'm thankful for those two for doing that for you. You know, what do you see as, you know, outside of just playing running back and linebacker for us, Jay, what else do you see as your role in our football program?
Again, I think not just mine, but all the other seniors that play, we're just trying to motivate the younger people to just give it their all, not to worry about mess ups, just continue, think about making a bigger play, the next play, to make up for it.
Awesome, awesome. You know, again, yeah, I agree. It's learning how to compete in this game the right way, right? And it's not being fearful, not being hesitant, but being aggressive, being competitive, and having that 1-0 that nothing matters what just happened. It's all about what happens next, right? And I think that's a big lesson that, you know, we've been talking about since we've been here, right? And I think you guys have done a tremendous job of helping us as a coaching staff instill that with our younger players, and I'm very appreciative of you for that. Jaden, let's take it off the field a little bit. What is your academic interest? What's your favorite academic subject?
Favorites, I would have to say maybe math, because that's the easiest for me.
Okay, awesome. Not many people, Jaden, would say math is the easiest part for them, so that's pretty impressive. What do you plan on? Let's go into the math classroom, okay? Why is that just so attractive to you? Why does it become easy?
I mean, my mom was really good at math, so it just passed down through me, I guess.
I got you. So you've had that background your whole life, huh? Somebody that's good at math. Awesome. Well, like I said, I think that's pretty special, because that certainly wasn't me, and that's fascinating for those that have that math mind. Kind of like Coach Bauer sometimes. I get amazed at his math mind, right, being out there as an O-line coach. What about your next steps after you graduate from Greenville, Texas? What do you want to try to accomplish next?
Next, I don't know what I want to major in just yet, but I do want to continue my football career on the next level.
Okay, awesome. And there's opportunities for that. And there's no doubt you keep on the right track, you'll be heading there and doing that. What have you thought about, though? What do you see yourself maybe doing one day when you get to be done with your football playing career and it's time to go inspire others to do great things? What is it that you're going to be doing to inspire those people?
I was thinking, my dad's been a cop for these last couple of years, so I was thinking maybe following after him.
Absolutely. Well, I can't tell you how much, one, we appreciate his service and what he does for our community, but to be able to do that, man, it's our police and our firemen and our military people. They sacrifice so much for all of us. I don't think we can thank them enough for everything they do to keep us safe and keep us pursuing our dreams, right? So if that's something you do, I hope to see that happen, and and I hope to one day be able to shake your hand and thank you for everything that you've done for us. All right, let's get on the lighter side a little bit, okay? I've been here for about 6 months. You've been here for most of your life, am I right? Okay. What's something about Greenville, Jaden, that you think is special that I might not know?
Our Greenville, our parents are like a big role in everything that we do. Even if they don't have a kid in high school, they'll still come support, help, just anything they can do.
That's amazing, man. I have noticed that. There's no doubt about it. There is a lot of support and a lot of pride in our community, and that's something, again, that makes me feel, excited to be here and excited to be a part of this community, okay? Let's go to shifting. What's your favorite place to eat here in Greenville, Texas?
My favorite place to eat, I would say maybe Bottle Cap.
Okay. When you go to Bottle Cap, what you go to?
It used to be their taco nachos, but they got rid of those, sadly.
Man, we'll have to petition those guys, bring those back. All right, what are you going to now?
Now, my favorite thing to get there is really just their chips and queso.
Okay, it's pretty good too, there ain't no doubt. Jaden, foundationally, one of the biggest behavior skills we have is our foundation of love is free, but trust is earned, right? So what does that concept mean to you?
So love is free. If there's new coaches, they'll always love on you, make sure you're taken care of, but trust is earned. You have to show up every day, give every player your all. That's for the coaches, they let players trust. For the players or the coaches trust, they just have to go with their word. Whatever they say goes. You can't change it a couple weeks in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a matter of it's character, it's competency, it's connection, right? I mean, it's trust is about being what you say you're going to be every day. And here's what I'll tell you, Jay, you are what you say you're going to be every day. And for that, I appreciate you. For that, I love you. And for that, I certainly trust you, man. And thank you for being on with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, very good. All right, we'll be back with our final segment. Welcome back to week 3 of Coach's Corner. Again, we take another look into the lives and times of players in our programs. And today, we're focusing on our football program. And we've got one of our seniors, a senior for us at tight end, and plays a little bit of everywhere on defense, plays defensive line and some linebacker for us. Cody Waldroup. Cody, appreciate you being here today,
Yes, sir.
man.
Yes,
Awesome
sir. Thank
to
you for
have
having me.
Absolutely. Well, Cody, one of the things we start with every interview that we do here is we talk about support systems because obviously, you work extremely hard. For you, it's not just football. You're heavily involved in our FFA programs. I'll let you talk about that a little bit more here in a little while. I think that's important that we talk about, other interests. But to do everything that you do every day, you got to have an unbelievable support system at home, right? So talk about your family a little bit and how they've helped bring you to this point in life.
So I have 2 wonderful siblings. I'm the oldest child, and I also have 2 wonderful parents. So my father, he always makes sure that he's providing for us. He works long hours, wakes up 4:15 every day. So I hardly get to see him in the mornings, but it's a sacrifice you make for the things you do for your family. I respect him a lot for that. I'm very thankful, and I'm sure he doesn't hear it enough. My mother, she does a little bit of everything. She works a full-time job. She's a teacher out at Carver. And then she cooks, cleans, does our laundry. Like she's very, very persistent in everything she does, and we're very thankful. So those people, they support me in everything I do, and also tell me when I need to, relax a little bit because I do a lot, and sometimes I take on too much, a little too much on my plate. But they really mentor me throughout everything, and also I have different people. So I have my youth group. They help me through a lot, and also my youth minister. So she's always there for me whenever I, feel like I need to talk things about, family, things like that. So I have a pretty big support group that I can rely on, So it's very helpful whenever I feel like I just need to sit down, relax, and talk a little bit.
Awesome, man. That's awesome to hear. And yeah, and you're right. I mean, I've got to meet several of them, and I agree. They're all tremendous people, and they've done a tremendous job with you as a young man. I'll tell you that. You know, interesting to me is I'm the youngest of 5, so
Yeah.
I've never been an older brother. But being the oldest in the house, what kind of role does that force on you when you are the older brother?
Well, you see, I was the first one to have to go weed eat and do all the lawn care, so that's part of it. But other than that, I feel like there's a greater standard. You're the one that's held to a higher standard with the parental aspect because you're the role model for the youngers. So knowing that, I feel like I have to work. Like that's what I feel like I do best is just knowing how to work, and I've developed that work ethic early on because it's what's been instilled into me. So
Awesome stuff, man. All right, let's shift to football now.
Yes, sir.
You know, take us through your football journey. When you started and how you've gotten to this point today.
All right. Well, I started in the 7th grade not knowing what a touchdown was. So there's been a lot of improvement. Oh, yeah. So I was a starter. I was a center all throughout middle school. And I fell in love with the game. It's something that, you don't have this sport in any other aspect because physical contact is something like you can go and do boxing, but it's not a team aspect. And then I formed friends around that. So I stuck with it. Freshman year, I wasn't a starter for the reason of I decided I need to lose some weight. So I wanted to shift from the line to hopefully get a skill position. And that worked, but to a certain extent because I lost so much that it affected my playability. So I bulked back up sophomore year, and I was a starter. And I had some very dramatic increases in my playability. And then that just kind of led into the small improvements here and there, and I'm where I'm at now. So I'm just kind of taking everything for what it is.
Awesome. It's funny you say that. I talk to a lot of parents sometimes, and I stress this all the time. Don't get impatient in the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade because you never really know what the journey's going to be at that level, right?
Yep.
Really, it's all about learning that level because there's so many stories like what you're talking about, guys that played in the line, in 7th grade turn into different players just because they grow. I mean,
Right.
their body matures and they become, they fill out and their athleticism starts to develop. And, I think it's your journey from being that center to now being a tight end is because it's a whole new skill set that you've developed in that period of time. So I think that's an awesome story to hear for the people on camera today or people at home listening to us today. Take us through, your time with, you play a big role on our defense right there, and you play for guys like Coach Yates and Coach Elbert. You've also played for others like Coach Sellers in the past. But what have those coaches meant to you in your life, Cody?
Well, whenever this goes for I think about any coach in general. There's somebody you have to respect because if you don't respect them, there's no way you're going to listen to what they have to say. That kind of goes back to love is free, trust is earned. Like you go in there and like you love the guys because like they're relatable. You can talk to them, they'll have a conversation with you. But when it comes to that trust, like whenever you first came in here, I mean it's obvious like you showed love and stuff, but like that doesn't mean I trust you right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be a fool if I did that.
No doubt.
So over time, you've definitely shown me that you're a trustworthy person, and that goes for any coach. So Coach Yates, Coach LB, and also Coach Sellers have all been really great guys to play under because they'll mentor you and they'll teach you. They're also going to be hard on you, and that's what you need. I feel like in the past we haven't always been held to a standard that we've needed to be held at, and now that's happening. So we're seeing changes, but it's gonna happen, and it happens when the players decide that we want that to happen. So that's on us as we're at now.
That's an awesome perspective, man. And and it takes me away. You've already answered one of the questions that we always ask. That trust is earned, and I think you're right. It's the job of, what most people when they hear the love is free, trust is earned, they start thinking about, okay, yeah, how can I trust others? But really, the aspect of it, you don't control others, right? The trust we're talking about is what you do to earn trust of others, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, and those guys need to understand that, you can't control others in the way they trust you, but you can control the way that you execute every single day. And if you execute consistently every single day with the right mindset and under the guidelines of what we're trying to get accomplished, then you have a chance to earn that trust. And that's something I think that's important for you to say about our coaches, and it's important to hear that, but it's also important that you understand your role in that, right? And
Yes,
I
sir.
know you and do very well is you understand that you have to do everything that you need to do, especially I'll say over the last couple of weeks, I've seen a new light turn on in you in that aspect of what it means to play with incredible effort, to play with a lack of worry and a lack of concern
It was that
and more of
conversation we had.
aggressiveness. Yeah,
Yes,
no
sir.
doubt, no doubt. And I think those conversations mean the world, right?
Right, and that's part of that trust also, because
Yeah.
you're helping me get over something that I need to get over in order to be a better player and also person in general. So it's just overcoming those small things.
Well, and that's exciting to see that growth, man, because it's been a great couple of weeks. Well, let's get into the lighter side of things, right?
All right.
You've been here for a while. I've been here for a short period of time, and I know there's a lot of things we've talked about over the years about Greenville. I think you were the one that told me about one of my first couple of days here. You told me about Texas Cafe, going to get breakfast
Yes,
there.
sir.
So that was
Yes, sir.
That was a great trip. That was a great suggestion right there for you. But give me something else from Greenville that I might not know about Greenville that you think is really special about Greenville.
Terry's Burgers. Terry's Burgers. I got a little home spot, so it's ran by a elderly Korean couple, and you're gonna think, well, that's a little strange. Well, no, they're very kind and cordial people. You walk in there, it's a little hole in the wall place. Food is pretty good, and also it's reasonable prices. So why not?
Nothing wrong with that. I
yeah.
got to go check that out then.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you've already answered the love is free, trust is earned mindset. Now let's then go into a little bit deeper. That's exciting because that gives our audience a little bit deeper look into the behavioral development that we have. Okay. Our next step in the process is to be, our whole mindset is the non-negotiables of we have to relentlessly compete to build skills that allow us to win the moment that we're in every day, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what helps you achieve the high, lofty goals that you have. All right. So tell us, when we talk about relentless, we say we are relentless. What do we say in return to that?
4 to 6 A to B.
Well, what does 4 to 6 A to B mean to you? First of all, tell our audience how it relates to what football is, but more importantly, now let's take it to another thing that you do, which is FFA. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So first, tell them what 4 to 6 A to B translates in football terms.
4 to 6 A to B. There's 4 to 6 seconds in a play, and also you have to be from A to B. Relentless. I mean, full speed, 100% effort, and that's my takeaway from it. So.
Absolutely, which is what we want. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
mindset of wherever you are today, relentlessly pursuing where you need to be by the end of the day. Right?
Yes,
That's awesome. Well, let's put that into FFA because
All right.
you are a really strong member of the FFA program.
Yes,
here,
sir.
Right? So how have you taken that relentless mindset to FFA, and what kind of production does that produce for you?
You win.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
absolutely.
So it's not a team sport, so everything is on me, and a lot of research. So I do a thing called AgMech, and I make things. So last year I made an outdoor furniture set and went to San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, entered a competition and did my very best, and I think I placed 3rd.
Okay.
So I made sales slot, and I got my project auctioned off for $9,000.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So there's money to be made too.
There ain't no
Oh,
doubt.
yeah.
There ain't no doubt. What got you into FFA?
I've always had a liking for just agriculture in general. I wasn't in it my freshman year, so I had open a slot for one of my credits, and I said, why not try it out? And if you don't like it, you can switch out. And I fell in love with it. My original teacher did a great job, introducing me to everything. I'm still learning stuff day by day, and that's kind of what keeps me, interested, because you learn something new. So
Awesome. And, where do you see, you and I have had this conversation quite a bit, but obviously we want to share it with our viewers today and I think the last question I want to talk to you about is, all the hard work that you put in, all the things that you've done from a football standpoint, from FFA, obviously academically you push yourself really hard. Where does that lead you to next, Cody? What do you see yourself doing next?
I've wrestled with this for a while. At first, I thought about being a lineman, but the more I look at it, we have some family friends that are firemen, and they're able to live a life that I think I want to live. I'm very entrepreneurial driven, so I would like to have a business, but I want something that's also stable so I can support a family through doing that. So I feel like being a fireman, it relates so much to football. You have a team aspect, and there's stuff to lose because if you don't protect a brother, your brother can get hurt. And it's very relatable to the field that I'm in currently.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, again, I've said this with Jaden. He was talking about being a police officer. I mean, I think our fire, our chief, our police, our military, there's so much selflessness and so much of that. We all owe a great deal of gratitude. And one of my best friends is a captain in the Dallas Fire Department, and I'm so excited about what he does for us every day and so thankful. And believe me, I know that I'd feel comfortable and feel safe, and I'd certainly trust that we were taken care of if you were doing it, because you're a heck of a young man. All right. Well, Cody, I appreciate your time today, man. Thank you for giving us the time.
All right.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed our time today, looking into our strength and conditioning program, and again, taking another look into some of the incredible seniors in our program. I'll take it back to finish up today with a conversation Cody and I were having, talking about the next step. We talked about Love is Free, Trust is Earned a lot in this program, but talking about the next step of our behavioral development, which is just a relentless effort, just a full mindset that we try to create with our kids is relentlessly pursue the skills that it takes to win in the situations that you get into. On our search for being the very best we can be, and our search for being and accomplishing the great goals that we all have, we're going to run on that path into a ton of different situations, and those situations are going to require a ton of different skills that we've got to relentlessly pursue so that we can act in the moment with courage and confidence. And one of the things we talked about with Jaden was just the confidence to act when you needed to. But Cody talked about the relentlessness that we have. In our program in football, it's 4 to 6 A to B, because situationally, football every play lasts for about 4 to 6 seconds, and we have a starting point, point A, and we have a finish point and a job to do, which is point B for us. But if you take that in life, it's every day, every one of us are faced with that same scenario. Now, it may not be 4 to 6 seconds. I mean, our times of having to deal with situations may be very different, but the mindset is never the same. There's a set of skills that we have to have and we have to execute in order to win this moment. And winning the moment is all determined by what we want to accomplish in that moment and how it needs to take us to the next step to where we want to be. And if we keep that mindset every day, that relentless pursuit of what we want to get done, and we never back down from the challenges and the circumstances that are trying to keep us from getting it done, then eventually we'll achieve those goals. You look at an athletic program like ours and what we're in the middle of right here as an athletic department. We are relentlessly pursuing developing a mindset with our kids to compete every single day to meet the challenges that they have in life, not just athletically, but in every aspect of their life. They have huge goals, and we don't set goals for them. They set their own goals, but what we do is we build skills that allow them to achieve it. And if we can relentlessly compete every single day to build those skills that are required in the lives that we want, then we have given ourselves the best possible chance to achieve those things. And that's what we push for each and every day. What is your role in that? Your role is to continue to push those things as well. And I think you do such a great job. Jaden mentioned how incredible our community is and how incredible the support is. There's no doubt about it. We have an incredible community. We have a credible group of people that push and support our kids every single day. And for that, I know this, I'm so grateful to represent you every single day in our athletic department. And we'd never take that for granted. Again, thank you so much for joining us this week. Next week, we'll get a chance to look deeper into our athletic program, meet some of our other coaches and some of the kids that make our place such a special place. Have a great evening.
This video has been brought to you by GEUS. GEUS is your community-owned provider for electric, internet, cable TV, and true local programming.